come on, and it had Cologne looking tall because it like cut off this part of his head, but you're not that tall.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to face the east and give all honor, glory, and praise unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, to the Bias Shadabadat, the house of David. This is Men of Valor Las Vegas camp coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back, you're the true children of Israel. All right? You are the children that the Bible speaks of. All right? Salvation belongeth unto you and you alone. All right? First and foremost, start with the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel. All right? Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's heritage is with men. All right? Then the multitude of the men, women, and children who believe upon the testimony. All right? 2/3 of the nation of Israel on this side have to perish. All right? Here on the shores of Babylon the Great, aka Sodom and Gomorrah, aka Egypt, aka Rome 2.0. All right? For the deliverance and for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's word to come full circle. All right? Hey, that we are delivered out of our current Babylonian captivity. All right? But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into these scripts. Lord willing to be uplifting and edifying unto the body.
Zechariah 2:6, he said, Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Right, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is calling out to his people, his nation. He said, flee from the land of the north. Where are we at? All right? As far as we can go. All right? From our original place. From our original dwelling. All right? The homeland. All right? Hey, everybody who's counting themselves to be the people of that land is not the people of that land. All right? Who are there right now? Who are committing atrocities. All right? On Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's holy land. Okay? Multiple. All right? So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is about to do away with this devil. All right? He's about to do away with this infrastructure. All right? The sword, the power of his hand. All right? He's about to find out that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai fashions a weapon after the way he wants it, and then he determines, I don't want it anymore. Time to throw it away, cast it down, and remaster it. All right? Whether I bring it back or whether I grind it up and throw it into the water. All right? Hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey, is the true master of the universe. Okay? You got it.
This is It says, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has spread us abroad. All right, the whole nation of Israel, hey, went out through the four corners of the earth. All right, abroad, everywhere, vast. All right, so far, hey, so far to every corner, the north, the east, the south, and the west. All right.
Before you get the can you read down just one more?
Oh, it's 7, yeah, that's what it is. Oh, it's 7. Back on Zechariah 2:7, it says, deliver thou self, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon.
Right, so we dwell with the daughter of Babylon right now. All right? Hey, Zion, the monument unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, is abroad in all these places. All right, we are here, hey, in our land of captivity right now, currently this day, as it says in the book of Baruch. Okay, we are yet this day in our captivity. All right, still to this time and to this generation.
And I just wanted to add, because in verse 7 it said the daughter of Babylon. Okay, and you know, therefore that ties in that this being Babylon the Great, all right, not the ancient Babylon, all right. You know, because that's the key right there. Because you could say that this applies to, you know, somebody try to say it applies to Babylon, you know, ancient Babylon. Let's say the daughter of Babylon. Did it say that Babylon, you know, did they reference, you know, the ancient Babylon as the daughter of Babylon? No, this Babylon was rebirthed out of that ancient, you know, captivity. All right, that was just the point I wanted to make.
Oh, free on this.
But yeah, you got it.
It was Revelation 18:4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, take that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached up into heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities."
Yes, come out of her, my people. You know, come out of who? That and in Revelation, that's speaking about Babylon the Great. All right, come out of her spiritually and physically. You know, the elect is going to be called. All right, if somebody want to get that in Isaiah, I believe it's Isaiah 20:26. I could see if I could grab it real quick. But we're going to be called into those chambers. All right, but you have to first come out the philosophy, you know, that Western philosophy, that wicked, you know, doctrine that was spewed onto you, you know, from this place, Babylon the Great, where they teach wickedness, you know, and perverseness, and put that up as righteousness and make it a law, you know. You know, though the ways of America, all right, are you know, or is iniquity. And if I may, it's like here. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Yeah, Isaiah 26:20, it says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed." And what indignation is coming to Babylon the Great, aka America, is thermonuclear fire via World War III, as we see, you know, these tensions with between America and Iran, all right, heighten, all right, the conflict in the so-called Middle East, you know, heightening up, tension pretty much with all these other nations, as it says that they shall hate the whore, that whore being America, all right, and you know, this place is you know, prophesied and destined, you know, predestined for destruction, utter destruction, you know. Yahushua said it will be much more tolerable in Sodom and Gomorrah than in the day that destruction hit this place. In the same way that Sodom and Gomorrah went out, all right, in that same fashion, all right, Sodom and Gomorrah got hit with fires from heaven, okay, but and they were sitting, you know, scientists went and I forgot where I seen it, but the way that they held one of their main resources was like this fuel. I forgot what it. Well, they used to store it like underneath it, so when you know that heavenly fire hit, you know, it just exploded all that shit, sulfur. But I believe, yeah. So that was like you know, high. But they used to like store it up in like underground, like little like basement type stuff, you know. But you know, one of the scientists took like a grain or, you know, a piece of that land and lit it on fire and just stayed lit, you know, for a long time. You know, this place is gonna stay lit for a while. All right, that's why it's called in Revelation the lake of fire. You know, what scripture was you looking for?
Daughter.
Psalm 139.
Nah, it's I want to say it's in Luke.
As is the mother, so is the daughter.
Yeah, daughter.
I remember, but I think that's Ezekiel. I think it's in Ezekiel. I just don't remember what.
Yeah, it's in Ezekiel. And there was one in Luke too.
Here,
Ezekiel.
if you want to,
Get the one in Ezekiel.
Which one is that?
I think it's Ezekiel
30
yeah.
something. Do you want me to get the second address?
Yeah, get second address too. Lock out here on Ezekiel 30. That's what
Okay, this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 35. It says, "Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of Yahweh Shem Shai." 36. Behold, the word of the Most High, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake.
Right. Yahweh Shem Shai said, hey, listen up. All right, you saints. You saints are you Israelites. All right, starting with the elect of the nation of Israel. All right, it's for you to hear this message, this warning, this cry that's going out. All right, Yahweh Shem Shai is crying out unto you, telling you, hey, to prepare yourself. Get ready for these things that are about to come to pass. Get ready for this man of perdition to be revealed. All right, it has been revealed in 40 plus years now. 40 plus years now has the man of perdition revealed. All right, from Alba Bivens waking up and binding the Old Testament and the New Testament together, showing that it is a complete work, a complete body of work. All right, it is a complete body of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, that we may start receiving the understanding. All right, the wisdom and the knowledge. You got it.
Verse 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack."
Right, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. All right, these plagues keep on amping up. It doesn't matter what plague it is. All right, I did a lesson this morning. Hey, the plague is another, roughly paraphrasing, is another weapon of the sword. All right, there's not only the plague of heart, the plague of health. All right, the plague of discontent. All right,
Pestilence.
Pestilence, the water. Pestilence, all right, but hey, darkness and so on and so forth. Physical darkness, all right, hey, darkness all across the board. So Yahweh Shem Shai can use many different things. Esau Edom has his sword and his weaponry.
Yeah, that's that's part of their enchantments too, because the pharmaceuticals,
right?
You know, that's a part of all them side effects,
right?
And all the the pharmakia, sorcery, you know,
right? Hey, not just that, the food, the air, all right. This thing is this devil has heightened his arsenal, all right, and has put certain things in play to cause and affect reactions. All right, these reactions that are happening when now they put something abroad out in somewhere, some way, and you partake of it. All right, it now activates that one thing.
Yeah, he weaponized everything.
Right.
You had some news come out that there's a lot of people, going to the spirit world from a mystery, big C.
Right.
And that's caused from Maxine Waters. So hey, that shows you that shit was was really the serpent's venom, man. He gonna activate that shit to delete people. Same thing with anything else he puts it. All these so-called cures. Coming from Esau, you taking a gamble with your life, cause shit.
How can a virus cure anything if it's a virus?
And they popping up like when the hell did
this is not medical information.
when the hell did
this is just speculation of documentation that has been put out in the news, that is on the internet, that is fact checking.
right? And when the hell measles come back? You ain't heard of that shit in years. But now all of a sudden it's just back, and that's part of Yahweh Shemiah's plagues,
Right. Hey, you heard about it. You heard about it how long ago? You heard about it about 6 years ago, right? About 5 years ago. That's when it started popping to the surface. All right. Hey, this thing may have a chance of coming back. Why? Because they tell you through gradualism. They tell you they've already told you what's going to be released. All right. They got some other stuff that they're keeping under wraps? Why do you think they put all, not only these movies, but why do you think they have all these articles and this shit? Because this devil, part of his enchantment, he has to let you know what he's doing. All right? Part of his discretionary law, he has to let you know what he's doing. All right? He has to tell you that you have the ability over here, just like it says, I am not a tax professional. All right? This is not tax information. I do not have any financial responsibility or scholarly or any doctrines in any finances. All right? No bachelor's, no nothing. But it does say in the tax code book, right? Just like that lady said, taxes are voluntary, right? But if taxes are voluntary, you not pay those motherfuckers, all right? Then see your ass in jail, see your ass in court, all right? Now that this thing is coming out, now all the information about it is like, well, they've just been opting to pay it. Really? All this time, all these generations have been opting to pay it?
We didn't force it.
Right? But you had the power to put somebody in jail. You had the power, hey, if they didn't sign that document to get that job, they can no longer be offered that job. All right? You had the power to have the means to shut them down in their livelihood or their lifestyle. Okay? So you devise of mischief by law. Okay?
Continuing on, 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 38. As when a woman with child in the 9th month brings forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Right, and these are all the pains. All right, all these uncomfortable situations, all these pestilence, all right, all these plagues of the mind, all right, hey, plagues on your body, whatever it is, all right, know that this is all part of that birthing process of the nation of Israel. All right? For the nation of Israel. All right? Because, hey, Jacob held the heel of Esau. All right? So knowing that his kingdom we're in right now, and as his kingdom is getting pulled down, enchanted down through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, systematically, all right, through Yahweh Shem Yahushai, breaking this thing down brick by brick, stone by stone, all right? He has to go, all right? He has to go and go back to the left-hand side and ask for more abilities, all right? More abilities and less accountability, all right? Because now he's like pretty much at his wit's end. Everything's almost set where this devil says, hey, it's going to be now or never, all right? And we understand it's still going to be never. Never, ever, ever, ever will you ever hold the crown, all right, of Yasharallah, all right? It was given to us by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, all right? We are to be that precious stone, all right, for him. We are but a stone on his crown, all right? The nation of Israel.
Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
Right, and now you're seeing sorrow on every side. Everywhere there's sorrow around the world. Mass chaos, mass disorder, wars and rumors of wars, dysfunction, tribalism.
People going through.
All right, tribalism, and within a nation. All right, now these houses are being divided. Here it was, these houses were standing together against the nation of Israel. But as Israel's coming back to remember itself as a people and as a nation of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, individual tribes, but recognizing that each individual tribe makes up the vastness and the strength of the nation in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? This, two sticks becoming one. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is making the name of Yasharallah, dominant and prominent again in the earth.
It's bringing that tail, the head, hitting the head of the tail.
Right.
It's trading places. That's coming in effect.
The last shall be first, and the first shall be last.
All right, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai is changing this whole thing around. He's imparting unto us that which we had missed. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Counsel. All right? Accountability. Accountability. Because accountability is big. If you can't accept the accountability for the things that you do and the things that you don't do, you are not accountable.
No.
All right? You have to call it out on both sides. What didn't I do? And what did I do? What can I do better? And what do I need to stop doing? Accountability. It starts with me first, that brother first, that brother first, that brother first. You have to take a self-assessment, a self-accountability.
Okay.
All right?
That's
Right.
yeah, and you got to think about, you know, if you call yourself a prophet of the Lord, okay, then that's the responsibility that comes with it. You're not only a prophet, but you would be a leader, you know, too, of Israel. So that comes with the responsibility, you know. And just to quote a scripture, it says, "Where much is given, much is required."
Yeah.
All right.
Sound like the world is saying Uncle Ben is saying
Yeah, with much power, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Much
That's
power
true.
comes. Yeah, but yeah, that's all the best sayings that come from the worldly. You know, they derive from the Bible.
Right.
That's why you know these rappers and stuff. Half their lyrics is quotes from the Bible. What you got? J. Cole got "Pride is the devil." You got you know.
the world is influenced by the world.
I know Nas and YG both got a song, "No Weapon Shall Prosper."
Right.
You know.
Jay-Z.
Before I was even in the truth, one of my favorite lines: "If you're not with me, you against me." You know. That was Yahweh Shai. You know, and that's the deciding factor. You know, the Lord is rooting out who's not really with him. That's why the true spirit of a man is being revealed. That's why the wicked is being revealed in A, and even the like the brother was saying, that division is there because now, you know, as knowledge increases, hey, these devils is being exposed more and more to where their own people don't even believe in them. You know, they losing faith in the system. Yet you still have, you know, people, you know, completely under that delusion. But more people seeing through their bullshit because of, you know, just the information coming out.
Right.
That skirt been lifted up.
Yep.
Right. And we understand, look, we understand the wicked is the wicked, right? There is a whole wicked nation. Even the wicked, even the so-called better of the wicked are still wicked. All right? Yahweh Shem Yahushua has purposed them for them. All right? Not saying that they can't do some good, but at the end of the day, they're still going to go back to wickedness.
Yeah.
All right? That's why there's no exception. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not accepting of anything and everything. Okay? He has a specific order how he wants things done. He has a specific people that he demands give him his praise, his honor, his glory. All right? Unto his name. He doesn't need us for it, but he chose us to do it.
Yeah. It's just like how we need Yahweh Shai, you know, as that mediator.
God.
Only Israel can glorify Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but then in the kingdom, these other nations will go through us to, you know, to give that same, to pay dues and respects.
Right.
You know, so that they, in Isaiah 2, they will go to the hills. You know, I'll just
Because
stop being lazy.
if you can't respect the people of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, therefore, how do you think your prayers are supposed to be answered by Yahweh Shem Yahushua? All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua only answered the prayers of the nation of Israel. All right, he has put that buffer in between the other nations, as we are the mediator for them unto Yahweh. All right, and Yahweh is the mediator for us unto Yahweh. All right, these heathen nations are going to ask, my Lord, is it okay if we do this? Right? They're going to know the law, but they're still going to have to come and ask. And sometimes they're going to ask some off the wall shit. All right? Why? Because they're not a holy people. They're not righteous. All right? Some will try to perform it without asking. All right? But this is the gift that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has imparted unto his nation, to be perfect. He said, be ye perfect as I am perfect. All right? That's a gift. All right, that's a true gift and a blessing from Yahweh Shem Yahushai, so that we may be able to dwell amongst him. All right, so we may be able to receive order, correction, and the perfection, so we can give correction.
I'm gonna grab what I was quoting. This is I'm gonna read it in the GNT. This is Isaiah 2:2. In the GNT, it says, "In days to come, the mountain where the temple stands will be the highest one of all, towering above all the hills. Many nations will come streaming to it, and their people will say, 'Let us go up to the hill of Yahweh, to the temple of Israel's God. He will teach us what he wants us to do. We will walk in the paths he has chosen. For Yahweh's teaching comes from Jerusalem. From Zion, he speaks to his people.'"
Right, he speaks to his people. He set his people up to be a mediator. They will teach us the way which we should walk to serve Yahweh, but not only to serve Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, we first have to serve them so we can even get to serve Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, because we're not worthy.
Yeah.
All right, and since we're not worthy, we must show you the honor and the glory and the praise that we would like to give to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. And we can only give it to the nation of Israel, because truthfully and honestly, even when you're in your best state, you're still an abomination. You still cannot give that glory that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai demands.
What did Yahushai tell? Did he tell that to Nicodemus? If I'm not correct, but he said that even the least of them shall be greater than John the Baptist.
Yep.
You know, the least Israelite, you know, is going to be way, you know, better than the best heathen.
Right.
All right. That's the glory of Yasharallah. So, you know, that goes to show. But, you know, the Lord put his treasure, you know, hey, he made us the peculiar people. That was just the way he crafted us.
Right. As he did John the Baptist. John the Baptist was greatest amongst all. All right. Besides Yahushai, who was on the earth. All right. That bared witness of Yahushai's coming. All right. Yahweh said, Yahushai is my only begotten son. John the Baptist is going to bear witness of my only begotten son. He's going to bring him in. This is his hype man. All right. This is him. That's that dude. He's coming. All right. He is I and I is him. He's coming.
Yeah.
All right.
He was top 3. You know.
Yeah. We have King David.
Right, because when Yahushua was on the hill, he opened, you know, and he transfigured. You know, it was Elijah and Moses that the disciples saw, right?
Right. But who heralded? Who called him out? Who called him to come in? All right. John the Baptist. That's why he said the least would be greater than John the Baptist. All right. Hey, understanding when you understand Bible prophecy and Bible history, and you can receive it through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Who was Moses? Okay, King David. All right, John the Baptist is still not have a name above King David's, but goes to show on par. All right, he's right up there, because what did Moses do? He heralded Yahushai in ultimately first. All right. Ultimately first, when who led him out of the wilderness? All right, who led Israel out of the wilderness? Was it not a pillar? All right, was it not what the world calls a UFO or a UAP?
Yeah, Moses.
A cloud.
Well, same thing that you know. Yeah, Slacky, you got it. No, I was just gonna say that Moses was that mediator before, you know, Yahushua was physically there.
Right.
Because Yahushua was always with us.
Right. And it was him who received the information first. All right. That's why they were both there together. All right. Hey, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, it's just and true. Okay. Everything is done in decency and order. There's not a time period where anything was out of order. Even in our disarray, even in our lowest state, we are still in the order of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Why? Because the order of us doing wrong and doing wickedness, all right, hey, determine our punishment. It is still in order. Okay? This punishment is in order. All right? Even though we are out of order, essentially. All right?
Yeah, I'm going to continue on with the last scripture.
Yeah.
Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 40. It says, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
Right. Be even as pilgrims upon the earth. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is making us ready to the battle. All right? Knowing that, hey, in these days and these times, there's afflictions that are coming from every which way. Every which way. Some that you don't even necessarily might not even think about. All right? You might not think about it, but then, hey, you get a moment and Yahweh Hashem Yahushua puts it on your spirit to sit down and shut up for a minute. Quiet your head, get some rest. Look at your track record. Look at the work. All right, what are you doing? Did you do? What didn't you do? Once again, look at your play. All right, look at Yahweh Hashem Yahushua and listen to what he's telling you. All right, as I rebuked myself earlier today, and I'm rebuking myself now. All right, for the time getting away from me. All right, and as I was talking to brother, hey, time keeps on slipping. All right, it's slipping away. This devil is trying to use devices to get you out and to make that eyesight be lost. All right, keep your eyes focused and singled on the prize, no matter what it is that you're going through.
I want you to receive that reward.
All right.
There's distractions.
Yeah, the distractions that come up.
Bullshit.
All right. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, hey, is having mercy and grace on us. All right. But hey, don't use mercy and grace maliciously.
But don't take it for granted.
Don't take it for granted. All right. Don't be like, oh yeah, you know, don't keep on putting off. Hey, till tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. All right. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. All right. Hey, maybe it's something in my diet. Maybe it's something in your diet. All right. Maybe it's work. All right. Maybe you're vexed with the people at work. All right. But you're not taking account of still what it is that you need to do. Remember, you've been in this position before.
Yeah. Was what did Yahushua tell Peter that Satan seeketh to sift you?
I was just about,
You know,
somebody pull that?
and
Yeah, those little things keep on flying in my nose.
yeah, he's trying to throw you off your game. You got it, or okay, I'll grab it.
I have more to get.
Yeah. Just let him pull that and then.
What?
No, this thing sprays out like sap somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I'm gonna start up. Yeah, this is Luke 22 and verse 28. It says, "Ye are they which have continued with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father hath appointed unto me."
He said, in his temptations. All right, showing you that Yahushua was tempted himself. All right. Hey, the creator of everything else, all right, that was ordained by Yahweh, was still tempted by his creation. Because it's the will of Yahweh. Right. So, being that happened, understand that it's going to happen to you.
Yeah, and I got a quick pre on that. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. You know,
Yeah.
hey, such these temptations that we go through, hey, you know, they're common. You know, and Yahushua went through those same temptations. You know, just as a man, he was, you know, born of the flesh. Okay, and then it says, but Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
God, that you may be able to bear it. All right? He made a way for you to escape. He made a way that you could combat that temptation. Through what? Through fasting, through praying, all right? Hey, through changing your habits, all right? Some habits need to be changed, all right? Some habits aren't always good, even though they present themselves as okay.
Paul wrote, all things be to the perfecting of the saints.
God.
That the chastisements, we get, our correction is for the perfection. I have to do a lesson called that. The correction is for the perfection.
All right.
I still got more on this like verse going back to Luke 22:30, it says that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So Yahweh Shai pointed out to Peter, this is what we're gonna give you. All right, he was talking about the disciples getting that hierarchy. All right, and it says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, but this is what comes with it. Just as he told the sons of Zebedee, all right, and their mother, will you be able to drink? Yeah. Will you be able to suffer that which is, and I believe both of those.
Son said, "You will."
Yeah, but they did say we will, but I believe they both were crucified. Verse 31, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Right. So Yahweh Shai, prayed for me, right? He prayed for the strength, all right? He prayed to give him what's sufficient so he could make it through the fight. All right, we have what's sufficient to make it through the fight if we be in the spirit of Yahweh Shai, if we be predestinated to be chosen.
Yeah,
all right, we can pass the test. But hey, if you let these demons get to you, all right, you're therefore giving up on the fight. Yes, we understand predestination. Either you're a part or you're not. All right, but nevertheless, Yahweh Shai still has it here for what? Words of encouragement and admonishment.
All
right, we want to see you fight.
In verse 32 it say, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not.
Right.
As long as you got some faith in you, as long as you can still pray and call on Yahweh Shem Shai, man, you still in it.
Right.
You still got a fighting chance. Paul said, Apostle Paul said, fight the good fight.
Right. Thank you, Yahweh Shem Shai. Hey, thank him for knowing his name when you wake up and when you go to sleep. All right? Hey, always and forever be in conversation with Yahweh Shem Shai. Not only you talking to Yahweh Shem Shai, but you talking to another brother. All right? You bearing witness, to somebody. All right? Yeah, always remain in holy conversation. Hey, bearing witness to an Israelite and casting judgment on the heathen.
Yeah, and,
all right?
And, it said, right after that, it said, when you are converted, when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. So Peter had to go through what he went through, to strengthen the brothers around him. Mm-hmm. So he could give that testimony, all right, and lift up brothers that would go through similar trials, and similar hardships, so they could apply what lessons, all right, that Peter learned from his mistakes and how he bounced back from it.
What they say, experience is the best teacher, all right? But hey, when you can go into experience with a little bit more knowledge, the experience may not be so bad, right? It still might be a certain amount of hell, but you got to avoid instead of 60% burn, you got 50% burn, right?
Yeah. See, just like how Well, the apostles did, you know, the hard work, you know, the rigorous labor. Now, you know, somebody could come into the truth today, you know, and pick up the knowledge. They could eat, you know, they could just be eating all the lessons and everything real, you know, real quick and already get up on a certain level, you know. Now, ultimately, you know, Yahweh Shemi Shai gives that increase, but they made it like a quick, you know, ready meal now.
Right.
You don't have to. You still, you know, do your due diligence and everything, but you're able to, you know, get the understanding a lot quicker of what these scriptures really, the full meaning of it, because there's so many lessons out on it.
Right, because the priest, hey, essentially, you can look at it ancient biblical, right? So you have the priest preparing the food, all right? Prepared this food to eat, all right? The high priest, all right, Yahweh Shai, hey, gave order, all right? So now that the priest, all right, the nation of Israel, the men who are out on the highways and byways under the order of Melchizedek, are out here preparing the meal, all right? Preparing the meal for the ceremony of Yahweh Shemi Shai's deliverance for the nation of Israel, his elect of his nation, all right? That ceremony, hey, is being gathered. We are all laborers for that ceremony, bidding you unto the marriage, all right? Some brother is responsible for cooking. Some brother is responsible for the utensils. Hey, setting up the tables. There is multiple. If you've ever been to a banquet hall, all right, or if you ever seen a banquet being prepared, all right, everybody's got a job. There might be 15 people laying down silverware, 7 people laying down napkins, all right. It's no different. This is Yahweh Shemi Shai preparing, preparing the way for us to come back unto him. All right? And Lord willing, we be those men. And we stay in the stead. All right? Not giving up. Keep on, fighting the good fight. You had a pre-drush.
Yeah. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 41. It says, He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away. And he that buyeth as one that will loose. 42. He that occupieth merchandise as he that had no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. So, verse 43. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. So, you know, it's going to come to the point where all these establishments, people that, you know, buy, sell, and trade, there's not going to be no more of that, because people are just going to take what they can get, and they're not going to pay, bother paying for it. They're just going to take it. Everybody's
going to be in that same low case.
Right. And it's not, it's not just that. Hey, those who made merchandise of the word of Yahweh Shemi Shai, all right, hey, you're going to be in a terrible, poor case, all right? Because now, not only are you a false prophet, you have all those people's blood on your hands, okay? You occupied and you had merchandise, and you made merchandise of the Lord's word and the Lord's work. All right? So now you're going to be judged for that. All right? You have bought what you have bought and what you have prepared. You prepared incorrectly for Yahweh Shemi Shai.
For your self-gain.
Right? You prepared for self-gain, and you prepared the flock unto slaughter.
Yeah,
all right,
and it shows that you hate Yahweh Shemi Shai.
Right. So you have no cloak for your sins. All right, because you have essentially turned your back on Yahweh Shemi Shai. Hey, first and foremost, and then secondly, you have turned your back on your own nation. All right, you all sucker for love. All right. You want Esau Edom to love you, and you want to be accepted, in his way, in his ministry, all right? Because that's the only thing that you care about. You only care about making it on this side, all right?
All right. I don't know. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 1. It says, Then said Yahweh Shemi Shai unto me, Though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth. Verse 2, And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then shalt thou tell them, thus saith Yahweh Shem Shai, such as for death to death, and as such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity.
Right.
I was talking about your 2/3. Since you don't want to hearken unto the words of Yahweh Shem Shai, this is what Yahweh Shem Shai is going to lead you to. He's going to lead you to just pretty much rotten parish out here.
Yeah, Yahweh Shemiel Shah is gonna put you in one of those lots. You're gonna get, murked off by Esau and, for running a red light, for defending yourself.
Right.
All right. And, bruh, at the track meet.
Hey, here's, let me grab this paper right quick. This is a book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 2. Yahweh Shem Yahshua. I have loved you, saith Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Loved us. Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh, yet I love Jacob. All right, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey, loves you, and he continued to tell you, hey, he loves you. He wants you to walk in this way, come this way. All right, you're looking and like, I have no idea. There's no way. There's no way that this right here could be any other way, right? You got it, Darash. And if you still got it, read back on that one more time.
Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 2. It says, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then shalt thou tell them, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Shai, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to the sword, and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity.
Right. So your captivity and everything goes to show that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey, he didn't love you, but he still has a love for you. All right? His love for you is then the correction that you have to receive. All right? You have to receive this correction. All these are appointed unto 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right?
Verse 3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith Yahweh Bashem Shai. The sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Verse 4, and I will cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth because of Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem, because Manasseh was you know the history. Manasseh was one of those wicked kings that, did abominable things, set up altars, false idols, abominable things.
Hey, and why is it that you receive this? All right, why is it that we have to suffer, a death in general? All right, transgression of the law. All right, being adverse to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, being anti-Hamashiach, being anti-Christ, not walking in the way of Christ, not asking yourself what Yahushai would do. All right, but asking yourself, what would Jesus do? Jesus, exactly. If you live after Babylon's false idol, all right, Caesar Borgia, all right, if you live after the, modern day Christianity,
Pretty much.
all right, you're adverse, okay? And you're still looking around like, why do I have to suffer this? Who loves me? Why did he get judged like that? You don't look at it as judgment. You just look at it, oh man, that guy got fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, she got fucked up.
How did that
All
baby
right?
get jacked up?
How did that baby get jacked up like that? Hey, that's judgment. All right? These are appointed unto you for your disobedience, for your lack of trust, your lack of faith. All right? Your lack of discipline. Okay? Right. What does he say? He loves judgment. All right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai loves judgment.
In Israel.
All right? Hey, because the judgment is Israel. All right? Under Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he said, ye are judges of the earth. All right, listen that ye that be judges of the earth. All right, he has a love for those. All right, why? Because judgment performs righteously. It is just. It is true. Okay, there's not going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Oh, I misjudged. Not by an Israelite. All right. No Israelite, man, woman, or child is going to say, I misjudged the situation. Absolutely fucking not. All right? Because judgment is supposed to be exact, just, and true.
Right away.
All right?
Verse 5. Jeremiah 15:5, it says, For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest?
It's only Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? It's only Yahweh Shem Yahushua who cares about what you do, how you do. But nobody else is going to ask. Nobody else is going to care about you. Who?
It's like they do what you want.
Right. He said who?
Yeah, these other nations don't give a rat's ass what you do, as long as you don't, do this. As long as you don't, prophesy.
Right.
And don't
Stay.
you said stay away from our daughters.
Yeah. Stay away from our daughters.
But their daughters can't help it.
Right. They know, hey, they know glory, hey, and when they see it. All right? It's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai who's imparted unto us these things. All right?
With the Son of Earth. Everything is Israel.
Yeah, but nobody's out here, saying, oh, giving a helping hand to get us back right.
Right.
Only Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is, and he's using the prophets to bring that, because in truth and honesty, only the men serving the Lord are the ones that give a shit about the nation of Israel.
Yep.
That's why we have to cry and sigh for the abominations thereof. All right, because what you're doing is wrong and against the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and you need to come and you need to recognize it.
Right. You need to repent.
Right.
Right. You need to repent and come back.
Because that's the only way.
Right.
That's the only way.
There's no other way. And it's offered unto you. That's the thing about it. You're not even charged for it. You don't have to save up for months. All right? You don't have to put a down payment. Okay? You do not have to go to the heathen nations and ask them for shit. They're not a part of it. They cannot deny it. It is only Yahweh Bashem Yahushai who can say yea or nay, void. All right? But you have an opportunity. If you hear the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you truly have an opportunity. All right? You got a chance.
Right.
And through faith and works, the Most High got to give you the ears to hear, and the eyes to see, and then you got to, back it up with that work,
Hey, you got to do that cliffhanger. Y'all have ever seen that movie? All right, with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, that old school cliffhanger. You got to jump. All right, you got to know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's got you if you believe and trust in Him. All right, you just got to. Hey, there's missiles behind you already. It don't have to be a physical missile behind you to know that hey, it's there. All right, you got to jump and leave it to faith. Leave it to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That we be ministers of His faith.
It was in Ephesians 6, it said, put on the whole shield of faith, to withstand the fiery darts of the wicked. Yeah, those is wicked missiles.
This is Jeremiah chapter 23, starting at verse 14.
They shoot.
Let's start at verse 13. It says, And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesy in Baal and cause my people Israel to err.
Right, hey, causes people to err. This is exactly, hey, with those pulpit pimps, all right, these false prophets call themselves Israelites, all right, these one bodies, IUI can't seize, all right, hey,
It was all
a
of
multitude of other groups, all right, hey, who claim to be prophets of, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but yet denying the name, denying the doctrine, the complete 100% truth. How are you going to be a prophet of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and you deny that which is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai?
Really taking the Lord name in vain. They ain't even using the name. You got it, you don't want to use it, you don't say it.
Nah, you can call him whatever you want though. God knows your heart, right? He knows that it's corrupt, deceitful, and flawed. That's why he said he's going to destroy you. Yeah, he knows your heart. All right?
Verse 14, it says, I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doeth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
Right. You strengthen those who have the power, who have the falsehood of power. Let's say that. You strengthen those of the nation of Israel who have the falsehood of power that are influencers to influence Israel to keep on going off and to do things that are still adverse to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right? That you have no accountability so they can distance themselves and try to say, look, it wasn't us. They did it themselves. Look, that was that. Hey, that's Geno Jenkins. That's Creflo Dollar. That's TD Bates. They did that. Not us. Not us. You gave them the bag and you gave them the power. All right, you gave them the platform. All right, here it is. These devils don't want, the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to have a platform. That's why they're attacking it from every which way. That's why over in Britain, what are they doing right now? Street preaching is outlawed. All right, they're outlawing street preaching.
Well, that's why Trump made is making that fire and brimstone teaching,
Yep, illegal.
the prophets of doom.
Right? Hey, he's calling it out. Why? Because he's going to implement that same thing.
Demonizing the truth.
Right. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to use him. All right? He's going to use him for his will and his purpose. All right? So it be performed no matter which way. You can't do anything against the truth, only for the truth. All right? You were still doing the work for the Lord. On the left-hand side, fucking devils.
They fulfilling prophecy.
Right? You fulfilling prophecy. Hey, and all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, no matter what. No matter which way it comes from.
You still can't get out
You
of it.
still can't get out of it. You are still a fucking loser. At the end of the day, you still lose. All right? Yahweh Bashem Yahushai still does not care for you. All right?
Yeah, you can't change
You can't change prophecy.
can't change the ordinances.
Boy, did you good, bro. That boy did you good.
But the just as the Lord did with Pharaoh, all right, he put that same spirit of pride upon these rulers in America.
No,
I just saw that right. Jeremiah 6 and 16.
Yeah.
I have one more.
yeah, go ahead first.
Jeremiah 23 and 15, it says, Therefore thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai hosts, concerning the prophets, Behold, I will feed them with wormwood, and make them drink the water of gall. For from the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land.
Right, profaneness. Right? Hey, that bitter, that not so pleasant. All right? Hey, a drink that we had to drink. All right? Hey, because really, essentially, we were all fucked up. All of us. All right? It's through grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that we now understand, hey, the scriptures. Right? no brother here, before waking up to the truth of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, had an inkling of the truth. You still had a lie. All right? It doesn't matter. Unless you are receiving the full truth, it is still a lie. The lie that is being fashioned and told has a form of the truth, okay? But it's not the full truth. We knew, Mary was a virgin, all right? Everybody knew Mary was a virgin, right? Right? That's what the Bible said. Mary's a virgin. Not everybody knew Mary was a virgin, meaning young maid, right? Because why? You didn't search deep enough. You didn't have the understanding.
You stopped at what you was told.
Right, you stopped at what you were told. Hey, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He said the world. He loves everybody. So we're good. All right? Until you research more, until Yahweh Bashem Yahushai put it in your spirit to hear what a prophet out on the highways and byways was saying. All right? Till a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said something that sparked your spirit, because Yahweh Bashem Yahushai allowed that angel to take that blocker off of you and said, now it is time. Now it is time for you to hear me. I've let you be in the world and suffer enough in that aspect. Now come and suffer for me in another way. All right? You were suffering for yourself in a way, but now suffer with me and for me. All right? Don't suffer against me, suffer with me and for me. Even these things, in this time I've taught you certain things. All right? So you may be able to relay that and use it now in that day. Okay? It is all through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Okay? Too clean. Too fly. Yeah, too fly. That's all right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua destroys fly ass. Over here taking pictures and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking tramp.
Nobody care. Hey, through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua.
Missile for the
Hey, missile. Hey, either you come up and receive the word, or you being marked by the word. It doesn't matter. Either way, it doesn't matter what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has for us. All right, Adawan and Rantazai, it'd be on the right hand side. No matter what each and every brother's fate is here. All right, brothers and sisters' fate is around the world, here on the shores of Babylon the Great. No matter what it is, that we be accounted worthy for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is what our hope and our prayer is, that we signed up for. Us men out on the highways and byways. All right?
Being those worthy sacrifices.
Right. Yeah, that's it, Darash.
Yeah, that's it.
This is Jeremiah 6 and 16. It says, this said Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find the rest in your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
Right. Hey, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, seek the old ways. When you seek the old ways, you will find rest for your soul. But here it is. You want to say, not us. 2/3 of the nation of Israel said, not enough. All right? He's not offering enough for us. There's no monetary gain. Hey, if I can't get a Benz and I can't get a G6, he's not for me. Nigga, you don't have a Benz or a G6 now. All right? This devil still ain't giving it to all y'all. All right? But yet, you're still after his way. Yet, you still follow him. You ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of.
Gucci.
But you want everything that is gifted through the devil. You want to be the man. You want to be that top dog.
You want to keep it with the judges.
Right? You want to be I'm a boss chick. All right? You want to have all this clout. All right? And all this worldly praise and fame. But you don't want to render yourself a sacrifice to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Nigga, you don't want salvation. You don't want the kingdom.
No.
You don't want spiritual power.
No, they don't.
You don't want to live forever.
No. But you know.
You don't want to go to another galaxy.
No.
You don't want to go to Mars, like literally go, not be in some other state on the other side of the world.
No, they don't. What they want
You don't want to sit at the table with Yahweh?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
You don't want to go to the wedding?
No, they don't. They want to sit. They want to sit here in Babylon the Great and think about the good days.
So they want to be here.
They want to reminisce, keep on reminiscing on their high school, the yesteryears.
They don't want to experience that true, genuine joy that only the elect will have.
All right? They want that monetary gain. They need that fast food now. I need mine now.
They want that lust box, that lust man.
All right?
Yeah.
And they don't want to suffer. That's
They
what.
want
they want-
that
Because all the riches that come from the Most High, you have to suffer to get it.
Right.
It's just not an overnight. You're reading the Bible.
All right? It's Yahweh Shem Yahushai who's found faithful and true unto us. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, as well as the speckled bird whose father's line goes back. All right? We are the sons and daughters of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. If your father's line goes back. All right? God is not for everybody. Everybody's not going to gravitate towards hearing this message. Everybody's not going to accept it. But nevertheless, if you have been made to be a part of this nation, you're a part of this nation whether you like it or not. Okay?
Okay.
You can't get around it.
Okay. Unself yourself as an Israelite.
Right. And that's what they're saying now.
I don't want to.
I don't want to be an Israelite. I'm done.
Yeah. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite no more. That's the
Right.
trend.
Yeah.
It's a trend. Hey, that's Elder Karatazat of Las Vegas. Hey, did a video on that. All right. Of that. And
A lot of drum shapes.
Yeah.
What his name? DJ. Some nigga dreadhead nigga talking about how he was and then how he got out. It's like you still got them dreads in your head. You still got demons in you. That's probably why.
Yeah, what he said. During the pandemic,
Yeah.
I got tired,
Yeah.
and I seen that it was a detriment to me. Right.
Yeah, because they, claiming you're a son of Israel, all right. You're put on the chopping block, right? Because they already have who the world calls, the chosen people, all right. The JOOs, all right. That's who the world sees as them. But if you have a spiritual eye, they don't have no salt. They have no flavor. They said the Lord said that. In Hosea 1:10, it said you are the salt of the earth, sand of the sea. All right. Yeah. Is that salt of the earth? That's the sand of the sea. You grab it. Yep.
Oh, he's right.
He got a pre-word.
I was getting Hosea 1 and 10. This is Hosea chapter 1, verse 10, and it says, Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power.
Right. Where it said, we were these proverbs and bywords, a so-called Negro, Latino, Native. That's actually an insult. All right. Those go back to slavery.
Black is beautiful.
All right. Where the Hispanics and Latins, all right, those were kings, and rulers over it. I believe you had a king Latinus, and then Hispanics come from Hispanola. I can't. Not the Spanish. I'm thinking history right now, but it's not coming to me. Spanish Inquisition. But who was over? Damn, Queen Elizabeth. Was it not Elizabeth? Isabella.
Yeah.
Queen Isabella. Out there in Spain. Damn, I can't think of the name right now. But anyways, that's where those titles that we were given came from. All right, and it doesn't go well. It goes further back from, you know, for the northern kingdom, anyways, from Mayans and Aztecs. You know, that go back, you know, to all the way to you know, back to where Israel, Yasharallah. You know, and it said here they're telling us, you know, you are not the chosen people. You are the lowest class citizen.
You could never be.
All right, that's why we gotta. That's why they're making that. You know, Trump made a big ass deal with the so-called Venezuelans. All right, trying to you know, persecute them and ship them back.
Hey, did you? He's a so-called.
What?
Trump. He's a so-called small hat.
Yeah, he transferred over.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So these are all plays.
Several years back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that always, you know, America always had ties with you know, and shows you that they always have ties with the small hats.
And that's why Nancy Pelosi said what she said.
And that's how you know who's ruling the whole world, because they have all these you know, people in power. That's why you have a JOO as the president of Mexico.
Yep.
Who look at all the people that were all the other candidates that were you know, done away with, so she could get that position.
Right.
That's not by chance. You know, what is it? You know, and that's a, you know, that's a power move that the devil of this world uses.
Right.
They use to get, you know, what they want done.
Rise of mischief by law.
This is how they gonna put in play the MOTV. That's why same thing with in Haiti, how they set up that when somebody's ruling, look what they did to Gaddafi, you know, and they have something that they can't control. All right, they gonna send somebody out there. Well, it's called an EHM, you know, economic hitman, and then they go do what they do, either by if they can't get it done without force, they gonna use some force.
Right. That's what they're you know, they're visiting Africa for, right? Because here it is, hey, these nations are starting to rise up. All right, they're starting to rise up and say, nah, man, we're sovereign.
The weak are strong.
All right, the weak are strong. We're sovereign unto ourselves. All right, they're not true sovereigns. All right, of the crown, the true crown, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's crown. All right, but they're saying they are sovereign within themselves. All right, amongst these other nations, every nation's supposed to have their own leader. They're supposed to determine their own laws, not from the crown of Britain. Okay, all the imaginary division lines that you have to part this land. All right, and to part these people.
And Trump had a picture that came out where he was wearing those you know, royal garments of Britain. You know, he had the blue coat and the crown on. You know, it was I don't know if it was in Times Magazine or something.
Yeah, he said he was put in this position by God. All right, hey, the God of this world. All right, yes, he was chosen to be a power in this world by the powers that control this world. All right, on the physical aspect, not the spiritual aspect, because we already know Yahweh Shai controls the physical and the spiritual. All right, he only has the physical aspect which is allowed unto him right now.
Yeah.
All right, by the powers that be.
Cause it's saying can I grab a free?
You got more on that direction?
This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will."
Right. Hey, the king's heart he controls. All right. Like the rivers of water. Who tells the water to go left? Who tells the water to go right? Who tells it, hey, to make a waterfall right here? Who tells it to go off and feed this plant? All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua directs all the path.
Yeah, with Proverbs 30, you know, it says who balled up the waters as a garment or in his fist.
Yep.
You know, only Yahweh Shem Yahushua has that power, and he uses the angels, you know, to put the spirit, you know, on these men, or these rulers, to do what they do.
And just like he controlled the waters for the northern kingdom to come over. All right? That was Yahweh Shem Yahushua who directed and calmed the storms.
Or get through,
I thought she was over there.
get through, you know, when, you know, he passed through when he had Moses lead Israel, you know, out of captivity, you know, part of that Red Sea. All right, well, come on. Looking,
This is
ain't a good sight over here.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, starting at verse 22.
Bring it out.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 22. It said, "The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence."
Knowledge of wickedness is not the knowledge of wickedness, is not wisdom. All right? To know wickedness is not to know Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? Hey, it's just to know the way of the world. Okay?
Verse 23. "There is a wickedness, and the same an abomination, and there is a full wanting in wisdom." 24. "He that hath small understanding and feareth the Most High is better than one that hath much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High."
Right. Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, hey, you, with all that getting, get understanding. All right? Whatever it is within your measure, within your lot to have, whether it be big or small, all right? Make sure that you're assured in that which is true and which is faithful. All right? Don't punch above your weight class. Okay? Don't strive for something and get lost in the sauce. All right, trying to be so deep.
That's a lot of them.
Right?
They want to feel.
Trying to be the man. All right, trying to make yourself renowned amongst men. All right, and you're not even in truth and honesty, you're not even renowned amongst men, because most of these people are fucking just males and females. There's very seldom men and women in this world. All right.
Oh, what's the use of having something and you don't use it?
Right.
Yahweh Shai said that in a parable. He said, "No man put a light underneath his, light a candle and put it underneath his bed." All right. So that goes with applying that knowledge. Why even have the knowledge if you're not going to use it?
Verse 25, "There is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. And there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment."
There's a wise man that justify in judgment. Right? Who is that wise? The chief? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? The men that walk out. Why? Because judgment is needed. Correction is needed. All right? That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushua loves judgment. Right? Because it is faithful, it is just, and it is true.
And to be a wise judge, you have to examine the matter, whether it be small or great.
Right? Knowing both sides, getting the details. All right? You have to be meticulous. All right? In Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? That's why you can't just serve him anyway. You have to serve him a particular way.
Yeah. You got to know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
How you gonna do right if you don't know what's right? That's why you have to become that be renewed become a new creature.
That was it, right?
Yeah,
Just verse 26, and it says, verse 26, there is a wicked man that hangeth down his head, sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit.
Right. Hey, inwardly is full of deceit, so Yahweh Shimei outside knows. Alright? The inward man, inward, you should still lift up your head to Yahweh Shimei outside. Outward, you should still lift up your head to Yahweh Shimei outside. Thank him for the glory and the praise. Alright? For the majesty of speaking his name. Alright? To be able to give him the glory and praise. Because every time that you meditate upon, even if the words, the name doesn't come out your mouth, alright? If you think the thought of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all praises, hey, it has just added and magnified Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
You know, it's like that old saying with, what's that saying called, crying wolf? You know, the fake tears, they're not being sincere.
Right.
Oh, boy, that cried wolf.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, his tears weren't sincere.
Yeah, but
that's just a new example.
until that wolf was really there, you know, when he called, nobody believed his ass.
Right.
You know, that's why, you know, say, you know, you gotta be sincere in the word. It's you know, Yahweh Shema Shai calls these other, you know, men out hypocrites. You know, you hypocritical. You know, you a hypocrite when you do something or say to do something one way, yet you're doing, you know, the complete opposite when the camera turns off. You know. Yeah, or it's all a act, a facade. You know, smoke and mirrors. That's you get that from your father, the devil.
Back on Jeremiah 6:17, it says, Also I sit watchmen over you, saying, Hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, We will not hearken.
Right. Yahweh Shem Yahushai said, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. All right, the trumpet, is the voice being lifted up. All right, hey, starting with the apostle to R, on down to the newest brother. All right, speaking the truth, 100% doctrine, out of the mouth, being Yahweh Shem Yahushai's mouthpiece. All right,
and it's an alarm, a warning. It's supposed to wake you up. Move. We persuade men from the for the terror and fear of the Lord. You know?
It's beautiful that the bird is exactly where he is right now. He's sounding an alarm. All right? It sounds like an alarm right now. It's almost, you can almost time it.
It's better than the alarm that was playing earlier.
All right?
Right. How that was going off?
Yeah.
Oh shit, my car getting broken into.
Yeah.
Why is my car doing that? People run outside and look for that. But when they hear it says that they do not consider. All right, Isaiah 1 and 3, 1 and 4.
This is a bird right here singing a new song.
Yeah, people do not consider.
All right? It's a new song that this bird is singing right now. In comparison to, like the brother just pointed out, the one across the street. All right? This word is before you as the bird was right here. Now this word is behind you.
You sound like a smoke detector.
All right? Still sounding the alarm. Still standing faithful and true. Look, hey, spiritually, present, or past, present, and future. Present, past, future. The alarm just went around. All right? Yahweh Shem Yahushai is giving you this warning. Okay? It's for you to adhere and take heed to the warning and the message that is being sent.
It says, Therefore hear, ye nations, and know, O congregation.
Congregation.
Yeah, O congregation, what is among them, Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon these people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it.
Right. So when you reject it, hey, you will therefore have to suffer the same things as Esau, Edom, as these other nations. Why? Because you were void, unchosen, without light.
It became an adversary to us.
Right.
Basically, he's saying if you're a friend of the world, you're an enemy to Yahweh Shem Shai. So basically, if you ain't rocking with Yahweh Shem Shai, you're just an enemy.
You keep the way of the world,
You're done.
it's going to lead you, hey, to desolation.
That's good. Desolation.
Right?
Not even good.
He didn't say it right. Desolation.
No, he said desolation.
No, he said desolation.
But desolation,
That's not a word.
that's not a word.
I thought that was. I swear I thought
I'm not aware of it being a word. Desolation.
Desolation. That's what you
Death by annihilation.
Yeah, the two turds get that.
Right.
Yeah, that was it.
You got it, free?
Yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 31. Starting at verse 1, it says, watching for riches consumeth the flesh, and the care thereof driveth away sleep. Verse 2, watching care will not let a man slumber, as a sore disease breaketh sleep. So, again, chasing the bag, trying to get that money, trying to build up, man, it can be a stumbling block, because you're worried about finances, you're worried about money, you're worried about trying to get this, trying to get that, trying to
We say profit not a day, profit not rich day, right?
Yep. Yep.
Riches profit not.
That's Proverbs 11.
Yeah.
And this is...
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Verse 3, the rich hath great labor in gathering riches together, and when he resteth, he is filled with delicates. Yeah, because he has sufficient of what he needs.
Hey, and so know this though. We're not telling, brothers is not telling you not to work. All right? Hey, if it's cause for you to must do, then you must do. But hey, speaking of myself first and foremost, when you gotta do, don't forget that you have still real work to do. All right? Don't let the way of the world, hey, try to entrap you, because all it is really entrapment. This devil is trying to entrap you.
A rat race.
A rat race, right? Keep you like that hamster that you used to have. You put in the ball, you just run around the house.
That's messed up.
He
The
ain't
wheel.
going nowhere. All
Or
right?
they have the wheel.
They have the wheel,
Ain't going nowhere.
ain't going nowhere. You have
Fast, too.
you have the ball around the house, but you're still monitored. You're still in a certain place that you can't pass. There's borders, the wall. The front door is not going to be open. The back door is not going to be open. All right? And even if it is open and somebody has you on a wheel or has that ball that hamster is running into, typically what are they doing? Keeping an eye on that hamster. Why? Because that's their pet. All right? Don't let it go too far. Always within that ramification. All right? So as the brother just said, hey, don't get caught up. Know that Yahweh Shem Shai is the way, the truth, and the life. All right? He's going to give us everything that we need, but not to say that you don't have to do your job.
Yeah, I gotta pray. This is 2 Timothy 2:4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier.
Right. Hey, he chose us to be soldiers. All right? Soldier to be an army of one. All right? You have to first be accountable for yourself. All right? Through the will and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, then you can start accounting for everybody else who you're supposed to account for. But if you can't take accountability for yourself, how can you lead or help anybody else? Be accountable for self. Know what you have to do yourself first. All right? Take the beam out of your own eye, all right, before you cast it at your brother. All right? That self-examination is always necessary and always needed. Okay?
Humility.
Right. You have to stay humble. And Yahweh Shem Shai, hey, certain times you'll go through stuff so you can remain and stay humble.
Yep.
Sit down.
Because you get too high-minded, think you got it all figured out, and the Lord might send something your way and completely, damn, I ain't got nothing.
Right.
I ain't know what the hell I was doing.
Right. Hey,
We all go through that. You know, I got Revelation.
Brother got anything else?
This
No,
is-
I thought you had one
Just a
more?
little more. This is Ecclesiasticus 31:4. It says, "The poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy."
Still need it. At the end of the day, it still don't matter how much money, hey, you make. Brothers is still gonna need it, right? There's still gonna be something else that comes up from out the fucking blue, because this devil knows you got it. He's gonna require you to pay all that you have to pay off any debt that you may have.
Well, you had, you know, well-off families, and then, you know, C19 hit, and they was struggling.
Right.
You know, they like, we can't pay the bills.
Hey, what did the scripture say that we pulled out earlier?
Even today, can't pay the bills.
Right. Hey, those who have, those who buy, be as they own not. Roughly paraphrase the scripture. Matter of fact, pull that and then pull that right quick, and then we'll get to the MOTB and we'll close out. Second address, which you started out in.
No, 16.
Yep, 16 and go from 37 to 39.
Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 37.
Yep.
Okay, it says, Second Esdras 16:37, it says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack." 38, "As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her home, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment." And 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. So everybody's going to be suffering every which way across the board.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Even though it's Jacob's trouble, everybody's suffering.
Right. Hey, it doesn't matter if it's merchandise. It doesn't matter if it's food. It doesn't matter. All right. Yahweh Shemel Shai said, "My servants will eat. They're gonna eat. They're gonna be fine." All right. The jaw ain't. All right. Hey, even though Lord willing we be those men, even though we eat, there's still gonna be. There may be a time here. Hey, we might have to go a couple of days without food. All right. We might have to go a week or two. Whatever Yahweh Shemel Shai deems necessary, but we can tell you this through the will and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, it won't be longer. It won't be longer than Yahweh Shemel Shai has appointed it to happen. He's gonna put it just enough so that spirit can grow as measure he needs it to grow, and then feed you. All right.
And roughly paraphrasing scripture, it says that man shall not live by bread alone, but by the word.
Right. That's it.
You got it.
Revelation 13 and 15 says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be put to sleep."
And this is exactly what this devil is doing now. All right. He has the power, to show his technocracy. All right. The abilities is false miracles. Hey, the stuff that he's doing with his robotics, the stuff that he's doing, essentially it's robotics.
Those who lost limbs and
Limbs and stuff like that. Hey, through the pestilence and everything, all that his robotics, is taking part of it.
Yeah, transhumanism.
Transhumanism. All right.
one saying that one's goal was to have it where those who can't see be able to see in this year, 2025.
Right.
That Neuralink, making it guaranteed he gonna get you sight.
Right. So here it is. Hey, this devil has the power, to prop up his falsehood. He has the power to prop up and to promote that which is unjust, unlawful, and untrue. All right. He gets to do that.
It's like him. This is him. Like, if whatever God took from you, I can give it back to you.
Right. He's showing himself as if he is God.
He took your sight. I can get. Now you can see. He took that arm, even though I sent you there to lose it, but I'm gonna give you a new one. So it make it look like you got some cyborg power, spiritual powers. That's all it is.
It's mechanical power.
Yeah, on the left-hand side.
All right. Hey, but nevertheless, these wonders haven't been seen in this day, in this time, in this world. All right. These are false miracles. All right. Hey, prop up to be found true. Why? Because it's tangible. You can reach out and touch it. All right. You can see with that. You can see that bionic arm push a car. All right. On a human body.
Or kick a trash can 20 feet.
Right.
Through a wall.
You can see that stuff.
It's like, damn.
Right.
You saw that?
Hey, because you can see it. Now you believe it. All right? But Yahweh Shemi Shai says, you got to believe without seeing. Hey, I'm the Most High, and I'm the only begotten Son. What do I need to show you? All I got to do is tell you.
I just showed you.
Right? Right? That, hey, with his servants, he says, I'm not showing you anything until I'm showing you again.
Right.
And when I show you again, it's going to be when I come to pick you up. That's what I'm going to show you. But until then, have true faith in me and believe on the words that I say. You see, I give you this gift to be just and true and to believe upon these words because they're given unto you. If you have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, partake of this gift. Learn of me. All right? He said, my yoke is light. Okay? This is light work for Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right? And so we have to treat it as such. Even though it might be heavy and burdensome to us, know if we're in Yahweh Shemi Shai, it's light work. All right?
Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a thing in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right. And as Neuralink, Walmart, Blackstone. All right?
And Black Rock.
Black Rock? Yeah.
No, it's Blackstone. Black Rock is, it's, legal. Black Rock. Blackstone is the actual tech.
Okay.
Yeah. All right?
Sorry.
Hey, have all these abilities and all these neural nets, all right? All this stuff to make you a part of their world.
I mean,
it's only for a time period.
Yeah, you got your celebrities now tapping into it, like, yeah, they starting to get their brands ready.
All right, here it is. I want the best of the best. I want to show everything. I want to show what it is, hey, for me to be on top and you to be down low. All right, hey, through what did Nipsey was on that. He was on that crypto. Yeah, all right. He had a whole. He was looking towards the future.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody on crypto now.
Right. But he was looking toward the future, and he wasn't even promised tomorrow. All right. No telling no telling how far Jake would have already went had he had still been here. All right.
No.
Because he was doing something, he was setting up certain place, but he was given just enough. All right, just enough to pique your interest. Same thing through gradualism, this devil has done. He piqued your interest. And now, through the movies and everything, now that you've been conditioned for this, right? Been conditioned for this to come to pass, all right? Through the bionic man, I want to be bionic, man. I want to be Inspector Gadget. I want to be Cyborg. Hey, Demolition Man was a great movie. All right? Hey, I want to be Universal Soldier. I want to be Soldier. I want to get an upgrade. All these movies and stuff have been conditioning you to this period and to this point.
Right.
But none of these movies gave you the truth about the latter end of all that shit. They only gave you the monetary gain and the monetary glory of it. It's just receiving it. The closest one that did give you the truth behind it was Upgrade. Okay? Was Upgrade. Because Upgrade in the end, spoiler alert, all right? In the end, hey, the computer said, you're no more. I'm taking over. All right? Hey, this is mine. Thank you for your service.
Right.
Took over.
Thank you for Lawnmower Man did it too.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Right, because that was the first one. Thank you for your service. All right. Now I'm on the platform and I am put up as that God. All right. Now you have no recollection.
Regulation.
I got you. The water.
I got it.
Yeah, no, you basically
No remembrance
Yeah.
of what was past.
Okay.
Okay. So it's been taken from you. If you let this devil take your crown, hey, ultimately it was never yours, but you're supposed to continue to fight for that crown.
Mm-hmm.
What's going back to what the brother was saying earlier? A lot of the men don't want to fight.
Right.
They want to take the easy route. They don't want to eat the horseradish. They want to eat regular lettuce.
Speak up to me, smooth things.
Yeah, you don't want to. You can't deal with the hard shit. You're soft.
and you
You're
two-thirds
sissified.
said you will not walk therein those paths, man.
Right.
Yep.
That's why he said, seek the old ways. The old ways were profitable. The old ways guide us in the way that we should live, the way we should be,
Bringing us back.
to remembrance of Yahweh Bashib Yahushua.
Going back to the roots.
All right? Hey, as you get into the root, going to the root, to the beginning, just like you get into the etymology, the root of the word. You need the beginning to understand what is to come thereafter.
We're going back to the beginning.
Right. Because if you can't understand what the root is, how can you better know, hey, what that tree is supposed to produce? If you have a seed and it has a root, and you have to, what do they call it? Transplant a seed that you know is around this vicinity, so you got to scoop it up. You see the root. Some people who are about, what is it called? Horticulture. But take care of plants. All right. Hey, know which exact roots. Can look at roots and say, oh, this is a carrot. This is a carrot. This is certain a tree. This is yeah. They identify the root and can tell you this is an oak tree. All right. Hey, this is an almond tree. Okay. Hey, it's all in the beginning. It's all Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just the word. All right. You got it.
Verse 17, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the thing or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Right. And if you're not going to get on this devil's system, hey, you therefore will be passed by. This devil is not going to give, there's no more time for exemption that he's going to give. All right. He's already starting to do this with this real ID. All right. Hey, the time is ticking. The time is now. Get the documentation that you need and move on. How much more when this devil rolls out this MOTB and he says, this is what you need to survive in my world. If you want anything, if you want a handkerchief, if you want tissue, if you want McDonald's, all right, if you want anything,
Right.
if he could find out how to charge for air, it would have been done already. Matter of fact, he does. All right? For those who are truly, truly, truly ill, he charges for air. But if he could charge everybody for air, this devil would do just that.
Mm-hmm.
All right? That's why, hey, in time, that Justin Timberlake went. That's what he wants to do. He wants to put a time limit, hey, and you got to purchase your time. All right? Got anything else? Right? With that, hey, we're going to go ahead and face the east. Give all honor and glory and praise unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodesh.
Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. To all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity. Men, women, children, this learning to the bias should never die in the house of David. To the next house, menofvalor Las Vegas camp saying
Shalom. Kwam Yashrala. Shalom.